Hello there, friend. Welcome to the Self-Improvement channel. I'm Alex Oxo, and today's video is gonna be about philosophy. A little bit about philosophy. It's always great to learn something about philosophy for your life. So yeah, I'm not gonna be introducing a book like my two previous videos, but this topic is gonna be as important as the last two topics I introduced it. So if you are as excited as I am to learn about philosophy, just stay tuned.
I found that my life got bigger when I stopped caring what other people thought about me. Yours will too. Stay focused on what really matters.
When I look around, I always learn something, and that is to be always yourself and to express yourself, to have faith in yourself,
Philosophy. So I'm gonna be talking about the Hellenistic philosophy, which was pretty much by Socrates, and the way how he described these three major fragments about philosophy, such as the Epicureanism, the Skepticism, and Stoicism. So the Stoicism is actually really important, and that's gonna be the last topic that I will be talking. So you gotta stay tuned, right? Epicureanism. So the purpose of Epicureanism is basically to pleasure the good only. And in how you can pleasure the good only. For example, when you go to a party, you just go to a party and that there's gonna be drinks and your friends are gonna be drinking as well. So then, you have two opportunities, you have two options. You can get as many drinks as you can so you can get totally drunk, or you can just take two drinks and drink those two drinks. So that's gonna be basically that you are choosing pleasure rather than choosing pain, because then if you know that if you take like more than 3 to 4 beers, so you're gonna be on a different mood at the next day, you're not gonna be feeling comfortable, you're gonna be hanging over or those kind of things, but that if you actually like just pleasure the good only, take those two drinks, so that's gonna guarantee you a good day, a good mood for the next day, right? So like another example is like if you go to a party and you know that that party is gonna end up at 1 a.m. and you work at the next day 7 a.m. in the morning, you gotta get up and go to work, and then you say, well, I'm gonna go to the party and I'm gonna be hanging out there till 10 p.m. so then I can go back home, and I can have like my 7 or 8 hours of sleep like usual, and then I'll be in a good condition for tomorrow, right? But then, because you are just pleasuring the good only. But if you say, well, there's gonna be a really good performance in the last hour, like let's say at 12, and then I just want to stay until the event is done. So then you can do that, but you gotta keep in mind that you work in the next day and you're not gonna feel good at the next day, and therefore you're not gonna perform a good performance in your job, right? So this is basically the purpose of Epicureanism, just pleasures the good only. So the second one is skepticism. Skepticism is basically like acting like you don't know, something, like acting like ignorant, like Socrates said, acting like you don't know nothing, like an ignorant, right? But in fact, this person is not ignorant. This person is wise, and you know why? Because by acting as you don't know something, if somebody is telling you, like, you're working on a project, on a certain project, and then you kind of like asking for advices, or that person just decided to help you with that, and that person just comes to you and say, you know what, this is not like this, you should change this, and I was like, oh, it's start giving you an advice or whatever, and then you say, well, you can contradict the person and say, you know what, this is my project and I'm gonna do what I want to do, this is my project, and I'm not gonna listen to you because this is my project and I'm just gonna focus on my project because I know I can. So then it's actually your ego is coming up, and then your ego is defending you. But yeah, so basically, and the other part is when you, even though you know the right answer, you have the chance, you give like a small chance to listen to that person, just listen what the person has to say and listen. And if there is a good advice, if there's a good idea or opinion or comment, so take that advantage and process that information, and then you will see if you can actually want to get that comment and utilize that, right? or you can always just listen to them, and then if it is a bad comment or something, you know what, that's your problem, I'm not gonna pay attention to this because I know what I'm doing, right? So basically, this person is wise, is actually really wise, and I've been working on this too. Even though I know the answer, even though I know how this works, how this thing works, even though I know what I have to do, even though I know how to get things done, I listen to someone else. I listen to the other people, because if they're trying to tell me something, I'm just gonna listen to them, you know. So then I'm gonna get different ideas, look like a different perceptions, you know, like I'm gonna see how they actually think, which is really helpful for me. And by knowing how they think or how they react towards things, I can actually know, understand the person, and then be prepared to deal with that kind of person, right? So this basically is skepticism. It's really good. It's really awesome. You guys can start practicing this, like not letting your ego come up, but controlling your ego. And if you know the answer, if you know something, just listen to the other person. Just listen, and then if there's a good thing, just well take advantage of that and work on that. But if there's a bad thing, so you just let it go, right? You gotta be able to feel that emotion and just to let it go. It's not gonna affect you. And the last one is Stoicism. This is my favorite one, because Stoicism is characterized by the rejection of pleasure and pain. Is equal. You're not gonna be more into the pleasure side, and you're not gonna be a lot or more into the pain side, because you're actually rejecting both things. And how can you do that? Well, Socrates said, we can control the weather, we can control people, we can't control the environment. The only thing that we can control is ourselves, is how we react to the weather, how we react to people, and how we react to the environment, right? Like there was one person, which is Marcus Aurelius. He had the ability to get everything that he wants, and there was another person who was born into slavery, into poverty, and that person was actually wise too. That person was kind of studying Stoicism. And what I really liked about this person is that even though he had the ability to get anything that he wants, you know, like money, maybe girls, you know, but he was actually like the total opposite of what you expect from one person in that category. He actually wrote a book for himself, and the book was called Meditation. And can you just imagine what makes a man to write a book for himself? And the answer was that no one was able to understand how he was thinking, because Marcus Aurelius was an stoic person. He was not paying attention to the weather, you know, he was not paying attention to people, how people complain on a daily basis. He was not paying attention to that. He was just paying attention to himself. There's nothing to be scared, and there's nothing to be excited about. And I was like, so you gotta just live the present, right? And I was like, yeah, you know, you just, if there's nothing to be scared, and if there's nothing to feel excited about it, there's like a line, like a steady line that just goes straight. And if there's like any type of situation in your life, it may be a positive side with positive results, with pleasure, or might be with pain, you know, negative results, negative thoughts, and everything. You can actually not pay attention to those two things. Just live in the present, just take a quick break, and then try to feel how you feel, how you're thinking. I mean, I know that every single person has problems and everything, and problems are difficult to deal with, but what can we do? You know, we're not gonna feel sad, we're not gonna complain, because at the end of the day, we're not gonna fix anything. The only thing that you can do is start working on solutions, right? So basically, do not allow yourself to think in something that it is not on your control. If a certain thing is not on your control, well, do not torture yourself to think about that, because you're not gonna fix anything. And remember that that thing is not under your control. Stop complaining and start working on solutions. Stop complaining and start working on yourself. instead of wish of something easy, you have to wish you were better. Instead of wishing for less problems, wish for more skills, wish for more knowledge. Instead of wish for more challenges, wish for more strengths, and start working on that. It's really awesome, right? Instead of wish for something easy, wish you were better. Just think about this and process this information. Start working on Stoicism, start working on yourself, start working on the way how you react towards problems, the way how you react towards people. As soon as you realize that you can control things that are not on your side, you're gonna see the entire world from a different perspective, and then you're gonna say, I mean, if this is happening to me, well, I must have to find an answer to solve this problem, right? It is like when you get sick, you automatically know that if you get sick, you're gonna go to the hospital or you're gonna get medication and then you're gonna be great again. Why don't you do this with your real life, with problems? You know that if there are problems, those problems are gonna go away anytime soon. Just start working on that, start blowing out the cups of your limitations. A good advice that I want to give you is that start working on yourself, like dedicate like 30 minutes of your time and thinking of what kind of person you want to be. 30 minutes, start thinking in that, what kind of person you want to be. And like I said, there's nothing to complain and there's nothing to feel worried about it. And there's nothing to feel excited about it as well. So start working on that. I'm not gonna say that if you do this, you're gonna achieve great results, but how about if you take this with small little things? Like start changing a habit today, and you're gonna see if it works. So if it works, you're gonna apply that with a different thing, right? So that's how you're opening your eyes to a different environment, to a different life, and practice Stoicism. That's gonna help you, like, promise you. Well, thanks for your valuable time watching this video, guys. Start working on yourself. That's good advice I can give you. Start working on yourself. Because once again, if you work hard on yourself, you're gonna make a fortune. And if you work hard on your job, you're gonna make a living. So it's up to you if you wanna make a fortune or a living. I choose to work. I choose to make a fortune. So therefore, I'm working on myself. We'll see you guys in the next time.